friends, welcome to my channel. So in the today's lecture we are going to discuss various access control methods in data link layer. In data link layer, till now we have discussed various flow control methods. Now we will be moving toward access control methods in data link layer. Firstly, we need to understand what is the meaning of access control. Let's suppose we have two networks. This is one network and this is some another network. And we have a router which is connecting the two networks. So we have various devices or hosts present in the network. Let's suppose this is my device and this is device of Madhur. So firstly, understand what is the meaning of access control. As it is clear from the name access control, we have to control the access of the channel. So there is only one channel or one path, one link present between Aarti and Madhur. So let's suppose I thought that I want to communicate to my friend Madhur, and Madhur also thought that she should communicate with me, and at the same time we both thought about it. At the same time we both thought to communicate each other. So let's suppose at 10:30 I send a message to Madhur, and at the same time 10:30 Madhur send a message to me. We both sent our message on the same channel at the same time. Then what would happen? Our message is going to be collided. Our message is going to be collided. It really depends whether you are using half duplex or full duplex. So what happens? Our message is going to be collided. It is not that at a one particular point of time only two devices are using this channel. There is also a possibility that some other device, 2 to 3 devices are communicating at the same time through this same channel. So what would happen? Their messages are going to be corrupted. So many devices are communicating at a one particular time using the same channel. So what we have to do? Now this message needs to be discarded. We have to discard this message and we have to retransmit these messages which was corrupted. So what could we use? What is access control? Access control means if the communication would be like this, at 10:30 only Aarti is sending the message, Madhur is not sending the message. When Madhur has received your message, now what happened? The channel is free. Now the other person can communicate. It is not that our channel is half duplex. Even if it is full duplex, there is a chance that 2 to 3 devices are communicating with each other. Then also definitely there is going to be collision. If on the same channel 2 to 3 messages are going and 2 to 3 messages are coming to this network, so definitely there is going to be a collision and we have to discard those packets and we have to retransmit all those packets. So what access control says? Access controls that we have to limit the access of the channel. At a one particular time, only some of the devices can use the channel, not all the devices. So we are limiting the access of the channel. If all the devices would be communicating through the same channel, then there is a chance of collision. So we have to limit. Like firstly, if it is full duplex, only Aarti and Madhur can communicate. So this way. So we have to restrict the access of channel to some devices. If we are openly leaving the access of channel to all the devices, definitely our packets are going to be corrupted and we need to retransmit all those packets. So we have various access control methods. We have various access control methods. Let me tell you which access control methods we will be discussing. So firstly, we will be discussing TDM, time division. It is a kind of a time division, and polling, TDM and polling. Second, we have CSMA, CD. Third, we will be discussing token passing. So these four algorithm or the access control methods we will be discussing in access control. So firstly, let's discuss what is TDM. So now we are discussing TDM. It is basically a time division method of access control. So we have a kind of a wire and all the devices are connected through it. So I already told you that if we give access of the wire or the channel to all the devices in a random order, like anyone can use the channel, any device can use the channel at any time. Let's suppose this is my device and this is Madhur's device and this is device of Pooja. So what happens? They are sending the messages at a random time whenever they want, and any device can access the channel at any particular point of time. We are not restricting anything. Then what happens? They will be sending message. They will be sending the message. Aarti is sending message. Pooja is sending message. Madhur is sending message anytime. So what happens if you are giving the access of channel in a random order? So anyone at any particular point of time can use the channel. Then what happens? Collisions are going to be there. Our packets are going to be discarded. Our packets are going to be discarded. So we have to retransmit all those packets. So what TDM says? TDM says we are restricting the access of channel to all the devices. What I mean to say, if I say at 10, Aarti can access the channel. When Aarti is accessing the channel, no other device can access the channel or the link. And Madhur can access at 10:30 and Pooja can access the channel at 11 o'clock. Okay, so we are dividing our time. We are giving each device a time slot when it can access the channel. So when Aarti at 10 o'clock is accessing the channel, you can consider it like this way. Whenever a user or a person want to connect to the network, now even if you have connected to the network, you are using your network, then you can connect to the network at any time when you want. But in the past time, we were bounded to use the network only at a time slots. So in the past, what happened? You are given a time slot. When Aarti want to connect to the internet, Aarti can only use the network at this time slot, 10 to 10:30. This time slot Aarti can use to connect to the network. When Aarti is using, no other device can use the channel, not Madhu, not Pooja. When Aarti has completed the work, whatever it wanted to do, then Madhu can access the channel. So this was the way the people were communicating in the past. Now we access network anytime we want, but in the past we really had a time slots. According to the time slot, we were connecting to the internet. So at 10 a.m. Aarti, let's suppose, wanted to send a message to the Madhur. Hi. But Madhur cannot connect to the network. Madhur cannot access the channel. Madhur cannot reply at this particular point of time because this is a time slot of Aarti. 10 to 10:30, Aarti can connect to the network and can do whatever she wants to do. When the time slot of Aarti is over, now Madhur can connect to the network and she can do whatever she wants. She can reply the message of Aarti and anything she wanted to do, she could do. Why we are doing it? Because we are restricting, we are limiting the use of channels. Because if any device in a random order is going to connect to the network, then our packets are going to be collided. So we are just limiting the access of channel by providing time slots to each and every device. But there is some problem of time division method. What is the problem here? Let's suppose we are not asking users when they need to connect the network. We are just assigning randomly time slots to the users. We are just assigning randomly time slots to the user. Let's suppose Aarti has some urgent work to do at 10:30. It doesn't want to use a time slot of 10 to 10:30. It needs a time slot. It has some urgent work to do at 10:30 to 11. But she can't do at that time because that time slot is given to Madhur. So this is the first problem because we are not asking users so that we can know when user need time slot. So the second problem is we are assigning time slots to each user. But let's suppose Aarti just don't need to connect to the network. So this time slot 10 to 10:30 time slot which is given to Aarti is going to be wasted because she doesn't want to connect to the network. So we are assigning random time slots to each and every device connected to the network. So that is the problem in TDM, time division method. So what is the efficiency in this case? Efficiency is equal to useful time over total time. So what is the total time in this case? Total time is when Aarti is transmitting message, that message is actually going to propagate. That message is actually going to propagate. Okay, so this is the propagation time. There is not any kind of acknowledgements and not any kind of propagation time of acknowledgements. We are just transmitting the packet, and that packet is just going to propagate until the length of the wire gets ended. The complete wire, your message is going to be propagated. So what is the total time? Transmission time and TP. So the message is going to be propagated till the ending of the wire, till the ending of the wire. And what is the useful time? RT is utilizing its time only when it is transmitting the packet. When the packet is propagating, RT is not doing anything. She is idle. So what is the useful time? TT. Or you can call it as 1/1 plus A. While A is TP by TT. Okay. So this is time division method. So we discussed various limitations of this method, that we are giving random time slots to each and every device connected to the network without asking them when they need a time slot or whether they need a time slot or not. So we have one method which is polling, and we improved what were the limitations of TDM in polling. So let's discuss what is polling. So let's discuss what is polling. We have a link and all the devices are connected to the. So in TDM, the problem was we were not asking users that which time slot they need and whether they want to connect to the network or not. But in this case, we are using polling method. So initially, before giving time slots to the users, what we will be doing? We will be polling. We will be doing polling. What polling means? We would be asking devices that tell me which want to connect to the network. Which device want to connect to the network. So what happens? Many users will raise their hand, like this user and this user. They both say that I want to connect to the network, I want to connect to the network. So both these devices want to connect to the network, but we can give access only to one device at a one particular point of time. So what we do, we will be choosing one random, that which device we should give access to the channel. So randomly out of these two devices, one device would be given chance. Let's suppose Madhur is given chance. So what happens? Madhur can use the slot. Madhur can use the slot and she can connect to the network. So again, when you have to give the next time slot, what you will be doing? You will asking users, please tell me who want to connect to the network. So users will raise their hand that I want to connect to the network. So similarly, Madhur and Aarti raised their hands this time that we want to connect to the network. So now again, we will be choosing randomly from Aarti and Madhur that which user we should give access to the channel. And there is also chance that again second time Madhur can get the chance to access the channel. Okay, so this is a little bit improvement over time division method, that we are asking users that please tell me who want to connect to the network, and all the devices, all the users who raise their hands, we give them access to the channel. We choose one of them and we give access to the channel. So this is actually our polling. But the drawback of this method is there is a chance that one user again might getting chance to access the channel, and there is a condition of starvation as well in this case. You know, the first time mother got chance and the second time mother got chance, but all the remaining devices there is a possibility that they might not get chance, or one device might get chance again and again. So that is actually the drawback of polling, because we use random method in this case. We use random method in this case. Okay, so what is going to be the efficiency in this case? Efficiency is equal to useful by total time. So what is the total time? Firstly, we have a polling time. Some time is given to the polling. Then the device which can access the channel will be transmitting the packet, and that packet is going to be propagated till the end of the wire. That packet is going to be propagating. So what is the useful time? Transmission time. When Aarti is sending the message, it is just transmitting. When it is propagating, then Aarti is sitting idle. So that is basically efficiency. Okay, efficiency is equal to 1 upon 1 plus T pole divided by Tt plus Tp by Tt. So this is the efficiency in this case, in the case of polling. Okay. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel.